What's up, y'all? First, I want to say I'm sorry for being away for so long. I've been going through it. I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible, but I'm going to keep y'all up. I'm going to catch y'all up, alright? I don't remember the last point that I addressed y'all, but all 5 of y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to grow. But I got out of training. My first trainer tried to get me fired. I don't know if I told y'all that story or not. First trainer, I'm riding with him. This motherfucker sounded like Uncle Ruckus. I'm not monetized, so I could cuss right now. This motherfucker sounded like Uncle Ruckus. No relation. Look here. That's how he literally sounded. So I'm like, man, I can't. But all he ever did was criticize. And eventually I told him something to say, hey, I got to get off right here. I told him I had a family emergency. I just lied. He said, all right. Well, I'm going to let you off of this next truck stop. I got to keep rolling. I can't stop for you. I'm like, okay. So he let me off. I go back to the office. They give me the drill. Hey, why did you need a new trainer? So I told him the truth. I said, dude, all he ever did was criticize me. He never had nothing good to say. He never had no positive reinforcement. Attack, bash. I'm like, bruh, what am I doing right? Because obviously I'm doing something right. If you felt comfortable enough to go back in that sleeper and go to sleep while the fuck I was driving. So obviously I couldn't have been doing everything wrong. Well, I guess he didn't believe in, positive reinforcement. Everything, he will wake up. This motherfucker's in the back. Nigga. So I got sick of Uncle Ruckus. And he would just wake up. Stop turning that wheel so hard. Drive this truck. Keep that thing at 62. I felt that thing drop to 61. Keep it at 62. I'm like, how do you feel a 1 mile per hour drop? Like, really? But, I'm doing my best to keep it at 62. But he feel it drop to 61, or he feel it rise to 63. Watch your speed. Watch your speed, nigga. That's how he literally said it. Watch your speed, nigga. You ain't doing this right. So everything was just all criticism. I was like, you know what, I'm tired. I said, I'm tired of it. That's why I need a new trainer. I'm tired of it. I said, okay. He said, well, the safety guy here needs to speak to you. I was like, okay. He said he wants to speak to you before anything else. I get there to the safety guy. This motherfucker had a termination letter written out, waiting for me to sign it. Because he said, I found out that you were texting while driving. I didn't know about the termination letter when I came in there, but this is the backstory. He was like, I found out you were texting while you were driving. I said, no, I wasn't. Because at the time, I didn't have his headset. My phone was literally turned off whenever I started a drive shift. It only came on during a 30-minute break and during the end of my drive, or when I'm fueling, because I'm not driving. But I didn't have a headset, so I kept my shit turned off. And he told them that I was texting while driving. I said, well, look, you want to check my phone records? I said, the truth of the matter is, it wasn't me that was texting and driving. It was that idiot. He was like, okay, so now he says it's you. Now you're going to say it's him. He said, look here, my man. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. I said, you sound like you were already bullshitted when he told you that. So he was like, well, I'm going to break it down to you like this, buddy. I've been working with this guy for 8 years. 8 years. In fact, last year, he was my trainer of the year. He was my trainer of the year, I swear to you. I worked with this guy for 8 years. No one's ever made a claim like that against this guy. No one ever said anything like that against this guy. So, who do you think I'm going to believe? My 8-year guy or this brand new guy that just walked in the door? I said, well, hopefully you won't believe either one of us, but you'll believe the truth. He said, I'm pretty sure I got the truth. He said, I just need you to sign this. And that's when he slid it over to me. And I'm like, you gonna fire? I said, okay, before I sign this, let me ask you 2 questions. Am I being fired because I was texting and driving, or because I'm a new driver? He said, well, you're getting fired because you were texting and driving. I don't care how long you've been with the company, how long you've been on this fleet. You text and drive, your ass is out the door. You get your walking papers. I said, so I get my walking papers for texting and driving? Yes. I said, even though I didn't do it. And I can show you phone records from that time that there were no texts sent, no texts received, or even calls. He said, well, those could be doctored. I said, not if you get them from my carrier, which I can request. He said, that won't be necessary. I said, well, so you say anybody, no matter how long they've been here, will get their walking papers, right? Yes. If we find out you're texting while you're driving, that's an automatic go. Okay. I'm glad you said that. So let me show you something. Pulled out my phone, went to the picture of him texting while he was driving. He said, the guy looked at it. I said, so when is he getting his walking papers? Well, that's just a picture. He could be at a truck stop. That doesn't prove anything. I said, doesn't prove anything. Okay. I said, slide up on the picture. So he slid up on the picture. And that's when you see the geotagged information. It had the latitude, the longitude, the coordinates, global coordinates. It showed where he was on the map, which was I-10 westbound in Louisiana. I said, what truck stop is right there in the middle of the fucking highway? I said it just like that. What truck stop is right in the middle of the fucking highway? He looked, well, that doesn't prove anything. You could have been stopped. It doesn't show any motion. He wasn't driving. I said, I'm glad you said that too. I got something for that too. I got receipts, motherfucker. I got receipts. So I said, swipe to the left. So he swipes to the left. I said, and press play. He pressed play. Boom! You see the motherfucker driving and texting. Like, and he says, he said, well, that doesn't prove he's on the road. He could be pulling into a truck stop. I said, you got all the excuses in the world for your guy, don't you? I said, that's okay. Swipe up. So he swiped up, and that's when he saw he was right there in the same place. I-10, Louisiana, westbound. I said, there he is. I-10, westbound, Louisiana. He said, God damn it, Rodney! God damn it! Why'd you have to do this? And then he calmed down. He looked at me. Hey, you understand why I had to do that, right? You understand, right? I said, understand what? He said that I worked with the guy for 8 years. 8 years. I trained the guy. He's like, I trained this guy. He knows what he's doing. And so you understand why I couldn't believe that right after. I said, yeah, I get it. He said, I apologize for any inconvenience. I said, man, no apologies needed. Just tear that up. Tear that shit right there. Tear it up. Tear it up. Just like take that paper and just flip it. Just give it all of it. So he went ahead and shredded the paperwork. And he said, look, man, again, I'm sorry. I said, look, man, I have to remove myself from this and think in a business standpoint. From a business standpoint, I was like, okay. From a business standpoint, yeah, I understand. He had to do what he had to do. I said, and I get that. You did what you had to do. I can't be mad at it. Because if I worked with a guy for 8 years and some brand new sweet meat fresh booty rookie just walked in the building and tells me my 8-year guy did some fucked up shit that my 8-year guy told me he did, I'm not gonna believe it either. I said, so I'm not tripping about that. I'm not. So I understand your position. That's why I always keep receipts, because they told me. Matter of fact, a YouTuber named Trucker Brown, I fuck with that dude heavy. Like, for real, for real. I fuck with him heavy. I'm on his Patreon and all of that, because that's the dude that told me this tip, as well as a bunch of others. Document everything. If they tell you to send, if they tell you, hey, we're going to do this, hey, send me a message on the Qualcomm to confirm that. And if they don't send it within 5 minutes, I'm typing on the Qualcomm, to whom it may concern, per my previous phone conversation with whoever I spoke to, I was told that XYZ and blah, blah, blah. That way, they're going to have to say it. Now, I've had them try a little funky shit and switch shit up and try to change some shit from, try to change some shit on the Qualcomm from what they said, like little slight words that, change the meaning of the entire thing. And I'm not with that. I said, no, you told me XYZ. That's what we agreed upon. That's what you said over the phone. That's what I'm going to hold you to, period. Okay. So, I got a new trainer. New trainer cool as hell. Nesta, if you watching this, my brother, what's happening, man? Nesta, you the man. But my new trainer, me and him still cool. I could call him right now if I wanted to. You know what I mean? He probably busy though, so that's why I don't want to call him right now. But the man taught me a lot about this business. He wasn't just fussing at me. He taught me shit, you know what I mean? But I got on his truck, and that Saturday after, I get a call from one of the guys at safety. Hey, we got a really urgent call. I said, urgent call? Well, what happened? Well, you remember your last trainer, Rodney? I was like, yeah, I remember him. Uncle Ruckus. Rodney Ruckus, that's what I'm gonna call him. He said, well, remember you got off his truck and about the whole texting and driving? Yeah. Well, when we got him here, he told us you brought a gun on the truck. I said, a gun? He said, yeah. Is there any truth to that? I said, no, it's just a guy who's falling, and he's trying to drag me right along with him. So now that he knows he's on his way down, he's trying to drag me down right next to him. I said, but no, I did not bring a gun onto his truck. So he says, okay, any idea why he said that? Because he said that you went to a truck stop and your wife you had your wife come bring you a gun. I said, oh, I know what you're talking about. That Flying J over in, I think it was Villa Rica, Georgia. I said, I was leaving home. I told him the truth. I was leaving home. And as I was leaving home, I went and got on the truck, and I realized later on, oh, snap, I don't have my CDL. So I told my wife to come bring me my CDL. He said, that's it? I said, yeah. I told my wife to come bring me my CDL because I'm sitting there driving the truck. I drove about 20 miles with no CDL. So I had to call my wife, get her to come bring that to me. And that was it. He said that she brought a gun to you. I said, no. Why would I have her bring a gun? I said, I'm not trying to get fired because I know this guy. He struck me as a snitch. He said, okay. I said, oh. He said, well, we're going to have to investigate. I said, well, let me drop you a gem. I'm going to kill this investigation. I'm going to knock it right off. He said, how? What do you mean? I said, here's what you do. When I got off of his truck, I was flown back to Houston. He said, yeah. Back to Dallas. He said, yeah. I said, so when I flew back to Dallas, and then I caught that bus from there, what you should do is look into my ticket. If I had a gun, it would have had to have been checked in on that flight. I've flown twice since then. I've flown back to the headquarters, and I've flown back to my new trainer in St. Louis. So if I had a gun, it would be on the flight records. And since you paid for the record, since you paid for the flight, you have full autonomy over it. You can see all of it. He said, didn't think about that. I said, yeah, TSA standard. I said, I'm very pro Second Amendment. We spoke about guns, but I never brought one on this truck. I said, but TSA guidelines do state that if there is a gun, it has to be declared. So I didn't declare it. I said, and when they run it through the x-ray, I would have been incarcerated. So go ahead and check that out. So he went, he said, okay, and in the meantime, can you write me a statement and have your wife write one too? I said, okay, cool. So we write the statements, boom. I ain't heard nothing from it since. So apparently he figured out dude was bullshitting. That raspberry lemonade from Sonic is the truth. So, yeah, got rid of him. Haven't heard anything from it. Finished trucking. Got my own truck. Catch me in the next part. I'm going to tell you about my first ride. Yo, I fucked some shit up that first ride. That's some real talk. But anyway, I'm out.